Okay, so get this. We are diving into, well, you could call it a culinary marvel, or maybe a culinary crime, depending on how you look at it. Heinz Beanz Pigs in Blankets with Christmas seasoning. You heard right.
It's like the internet doesn't know whether to grab a fork or run for the hills. Fascinating, really.
No kidding. Okay, so picture this. Heinz, right?
British icon, like if America had a baby made of baked beans, it would be Heinz.
Exactly. And they've teamed up with, wait for it, Richmond sausages for this little holiday treat.
And let's be honest, baked beans. They're practically sacred on breakfast plates over in the UK.
Totally. And now they're messing with tradition. I mean, Pigs in Blankets, classic Christmas dinner fare, combining them, that's either genius or madness, or maybe a bit of both.
It's definitely got people talking. Some are calling it peak Britishness. Others, let's just say they're less enthusiastic.
Oh yeah, the reviews are all over the map. And that's what we're diving into today, why this particular food mashup has everyone buzzing, good or bad.
Because it's not just about the food, is it? It's about how we react to the unexpected, the unusual, and how companies like Heinz tap into that.
You're right. It's like they're playing with our expectations. Kind of like when they launched that Monster Munch mayo a while back.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget the spaghetti carbonara in a tin. People had opinions.
Strong ones. But this latest creation, it seems like they've struck a nerve, tapped into something deeper, especially on Reddit.
Reddit is on fire. Some users are already planning their post-Christmas sandwiches. Others are, well, let's just say they're questioning the very existence of Christmas seasoning.
And then there are the brave souls who've actually tried it. They're out there, folks, reporting back from the front lines of this culinary adventure.
Which is exactly what makes this so fascinating from a, shall we say, anthropological perspective. Food isn't just fuel, it's cultural, it's emotional, it's personal. Think about it. Have you ever encountered a food combination that just seemed wrong?
Oh, absolutely. Like pineapple on pizza. The debate rages on.
And that reaction, that visceral response, whether it's delight or disgust, it's often rooted in this fascinating concept called food neophobia.
Food neophobia. Tell me more about that.
Basically, it's that hesitation, maybe even a little fear we get when faced with a new food, especially if it seems odd or unfamiliar. Like, our brains are hardwired to be a little suspicious.
That makes sense. Like back in the day, trying a new berry could mean lights out, right?
Exactly. It was a survival thing. So when some people see Heinz Beanz Pigs in Blankets and their first thought is, nope, not touching that, it's not just them being picky. It's evolution.
So it's basically our inner cave person saying, stick to what you know.
Exactly. But then you've got the other side of the coin, the adventurous eaters. The ones who live for trying new things. For them, food is an experience, a way to explore the world one bite at a time.
And I bet Heinz knows they're marketing to both of those groups with this one.
Oh, absolutely. It's a brilliant, if somewhat risky, strategy. But to really understand how they're playing this, we need to dig a little deeper into their bag of marketing tricks.
Okay, so let's break it down. What makes Heinz's marketing so effective?
Well, they're masters of humor. They don't take themselves too seriously. Take a look at the product description. Jingle all the way. Santa got your wish list. No need to wait for the big day. It's all very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a hard sell, more like a dare almost.
Right. It's like they're saying, we know this is crazy, but are you brave enough to try it? And that playfulness, it works. They did something similar with that whole upside-down bean tin campaign. Remember that?
Oh yeah, how could I forget? Pure marketing gold. Upside-down bean tin. Seriously, who thinks of that?
Right. But it was brilliant. They did all this research, right? And it turns out almost 90% of people, they'll do whatever it takes to get those last few beans out of the can.
Oh, totally. Scraping, shaking. I've even seen people use a spoon, like a spatula.
Exactly. So Heinz, they see this struggle, this universal bean-related struggle, and they're like, hold my beer.
We gotcha.
Exactly. They even brought in some scientist, Professor, what was his name? Spence, to explain the physics of it all.
Like it's rocket science.
Right. But that's the genius of it. They took this everyday annoyance and they offered a solution, but they made it fun. They didn't just change the label, they flipped the whole script.
And suddenly they're not just selling beans. They're selling innovation, convenience. They're selling you a solution to a problem you didn't even know you had.
Exactly. Makes you wonder what problem they're solving with the Beanz Pigs in Blankets, doesn't it?
Right. Like, is there some secret society of people who hate having to choose between beans and pigs in blankets?
Maybe. But one thing's for sure, they're masters of the limited edition game. Creates that fear of missing out, you know?
Oh, totally. Like, I gotta try it now or I'll miss the hype train.
Exactly. And all that buzz, all those Reddit comments, good or bad, it's marketing gold.
Even the negative ones.
Especially the negative ones. Any publicity is good publicity, right? It gets people talking, gets them engaged. I mean, one person called it an abomination, another one said it was the best thing since sliced bread.
Talk about a range of opinions.
Right. But here's the thing, even if someone hates it, they're still talking about it, right? They're telling their friends, they're posting online, they're giving Heinz free advertising. And then you've got those detailed reviews. Like some people, they don't mess around. They're analyzing the flavor profiles, measuring the sausages.
I saw one where they were dissecting the Christmas seasoning, trying to figure out what it tasted like.
It's like a culinary mystery. But that's the thing about food, isn't it? It's so subjective. What one person loves, another person might hate. And it all comes down to personal taste, cultural background, all those things that make us unique.
Totally. One person's culinary masterpiece is another person's crime against food.
It really is amazing how our taste buds can be so different. I mean, what you think is delicious, I might think is, like, worthy of a Worst Cooks in the World award. Absolutely. And that's what makes exploring food trends so interesting.
Right? But whether you love Heinz's ideas or think they've gone off the deep end, you got to hand it to them. They're not afraid to push the boundaries a bit.
Oh, absolutely. They seem to really understand that to stay relevant, you got to shake things up a bit. You got to make people pay attention, even if it's just to say, what were they thinking?
It's like they're saying, hey, Internet, try and ignore us now. And it works. Look at us. We're talking about them. Right?
Exactly. And all this buzz they're generating, that's the real prize, those limited edition releases. They're not always about record-breaking sales. It's about keeping the brand fresh, keeping people talking, and creating that I gotta try it mentality.
You know, that fear of missing out, the FOMO, it's real. Especially when you see everyone on social media going crazy for the latest, well, in this case, it's Beanz Pigs In Blankets, but you get the idea.
Oh, totally. So the real question is, has Heinz stumbled onto a gold mine of deliciousness with this one, or have they finally gone too far? What do you think? Would you try it?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's one that we're leaving up to you, our amazing listeners, to decide.
It's true. This is where we pass the baton. We've given you the lowdown, the history, the psychology, even dissected the marketing strategy. Now it's your turn.
So next time you're wandering the grocery aisles, keep your eyes peeled for that festive tin of Heinz Beanz Pigs in Blankets with Christmas seasoning. You never know, it might just become your new guilty pleasure, or, maybe not. But either way, we want to hear about it. Head over to our social media pages, tell us if you dared to try it and what you thought. We live for this stuff.
Absolutely. Until next time, happy eating, everyone.